We're going to show you how to light a Coleman lantern. This model in particular is a 228H, made in the mid-70s. So start off with, what you're going to want some fuel, a lighter, and a lantern. Now the fuel comes in these quarts and the gallons. I typically buy it in the gallons. It's a much better value. But I keep one of these quart containers here because it's a lot easier to pour from the gallon container into the quart container and then into the lantern. The gallon container is a little big to be pouring in and have a good idea where your fuel level is while you're pouring. To pour, use a funnel. I mean, personal preference, it makes it much easier. But for fuel, I just use the Coleman fuel. Get it at Walmart or whatever, local store. You can use, some people use unleaded gasoline. I highly recommend against that. It will clog up a lot of stuff in here. This is a very clean version of gasoline, white gas. So it's much better for your lanterns. It's designed for the lantern, so that's what you should use. Alright, so get to doing this here. First step, you're going to want to fill your lantern up with fuel. You can kind of look just inside the tank, see where the level is, but this one's pretty full. I'm just going to top it off here. Alright, pretty full. Put the cap back on, make sure it's tight. One thing to check for, make sure that you have a seal inside. Let me show you here. You want to have, make sure you have the gasket right inside your cap, right there. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to hold pressure and your lantern's not going to light. So, get the cap back on, snug it up. Next step. So next step right here, what you're going to do is take the pump up the lantern. To check the pump before you start pumping, there's a little hole in the end of it. Put your thumb over it and try to pull it out. If you don't feel any resistance, then most likely the leather or whatever your pump is, depending on when it was made, is bad. So you need to replace the pump. But in this case, I know it's good. So what you're going to do, take the knob, turn it about a turn, put your thumb over the end. There's a hole in the end. Pump it approximately 30 times. The amount of times that you pump is going to depend on how much fuel you have in the tank. If the tank has less fuel, you're going to pump more times. If it has a lot of fuel, probably 30 is going to be your minimum. So, the last pump, push it in, twist it without letting your thumb off the hole. Now, any time to light it here. Take let's see, look at the back of it. It's right here. This is a cleaning lever. I'm going to take it and turn it a couple of times just to clean the tip of where the gas comes through and mists out of the tank and get to light it. So turn that a couple of times. Make sure it's facing down when you go to light it. I'm going to turn the valve quarter turn. There you go. So you can hear it. Stick the lighter in and there we go. You can see both going here. Wait till they start glowing white. No more flames on them, and open the valve all the way. There we go. So let's take it out into the light here and out of the light and take a look at it. So as you can see, these put out a lot of light. The fuel in them lasts for quite a while. Fill it up, get it running, it'll last you whole night camping basically. I mean, even longer. So this right here, it's a dual mantle lantern. Means it has two mantles that basically emit light. So another thing, actually, when you're lighting, you want to make sure that the mantles are intact. You want to make sure there are no holes in them, and you want to make sure that they're actually there. If there are holes in them, or if they're not there, then I'll make a video later, show you guys how to replace them. If you did all this and your lantern's still not lighting, a couple possible sources are: make sure that your gas cap has the seal that I was showing you earlier. If it doesn't, then if it doesn't have it, obviously replace it. If it does have it, then way to check that, make sure that it is holding pressure, is to put it on, screw it on tight, pump up the lantern like you're getting ready to light it, and then unscrew it. If you don't hear any hissing air coming out of the tank when you unscrew it, then that means your seal is most likely bad. Another thing is the seal on the pump itself, when you're pumping it up to put pressure into the tank, could go bad. If you don't feel any resistance when you're pumping, then your seal is bad and you need to replace it. Another problem, if your lantern has been sitting for a while, then the generator, which is the piece that connects your lantern, the base, to the top, where the fuel goes through, could need to be taken apart and be cleaned, because it could be a little gummed up. May make a video on that, show you guys how to do that later. I mean, other than that, these things are pretty simple machines. They're great, they're reliable, they're easy to work on, last forever. So that's how you light it. I'll put the instructions in the description box, in case for some reason your lantern doesn't have the instructions on it. Most of them are written right on the lantern. Make sure to put those in the description box. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Any comments, leave a comment. Thanks for watching.